Hi and welcome everyone. This is Lisa. Welcome to the This Calls for Confetti YouTube channel. In this video, I'm sharing our daily grind 6x6 paper pad with the focus on those coffee shop scenes. As a crafter, I often struggle with 6x6 scenes because who wants to cover up that beautiful design? So I thought, why not come up with an easy way for us to get the most out of these beautiful scenes? Now let me know down in the comments below how you use your scenes in your designs. And if you're new here and you like what you see, I kindly ask that you not only subscribe to our channel, but also share the video content. You may not be aware, but that's one of the best ways that you can help us out by sharing our content. And being a fairly new channel, we do truly appreciate any support that we can get. Now, before moving on to creating those two quick and simple cards, I'd like to flip through our daily grind 6x6 paper pad with you. The very first page, we have that beautiful coffee shop scenery. Then we're going to flip into these browns and greens with the beans and the leaves. I thought this was something a little bit different. I had not seen this done before. It may have been done, but I have not seen it. And I love that there we have the smaller version with the coffee cups added in. And then we have, of course, a full page of coffee beans. I have seen this done before, but I thought it just kind of went well with this paper pad. I love the cold brews on this page with all those beautiful browns and orange colors. And then, of course, we have a lot of coffee cups here. And then we have another one I'm going to show you shortly that's coffee cups that I use to match our enamel dots with. Now, I thought, well, we have a full page of beans. Let's break it down a little bit and have something a little bit different. Again, we have another inside of a coffee shop. I love that. I just think it was so different. So here's the paper that I used to create pulled the colors from this paper to create our enamel dots. And I think the colors in this particular paper is just really pretty. It's corals and yellows and turquoise and grays. I mean, the watercolor on this paper is just so beautiful. I just absolutely love it. Now, you're going to get 12 different designs. You'll receive 2 each of those designs. It's 80-pound cardstock, which makes this very sturdy. I personally don't like selecting one pattern over the other, so we opted for single-sided sheets with this. So our last one is going to be a coffee shop scene, which is actually the one we're going to be using today to create these 2 quick and simple cards. To get us started, I have pulled my 6x6 coffee shop scene paper. I'm using black cardstock to mat the scene. Also, I'll be using one of the This Calls for Confetti Mini Slim full front shaker pockets, along with our coffee rub-on transfers and glossy black sequins. I'll have everything listed down below for you. Also, I wanted to let you know to stick around to the end of the video because I have some more samples and we're going to talk about my next upcoming video here on the channel. So the first step is to cut our 6x6 coffee shop scene down the center. So I line the left edge of that paper on the 3-inch mark and make my cut, leaving me with 2 pieces of 3x6 papers. And I love that you can still get the feel of being in a coffee shop even after cutting this down the center. Once we have that done, we're going to go ahead and cut 2 pieces of black cardstock to 3 1/8 of an inch wide by 6 1/8 of an inch high. We can mat our 2 scenes by using glue or tape to the back of the pattern paper and then centering those on our black cardstock. Our next step is to grab the full front shaker pocket. I'm using a mini slim shaker pocket for this. I'm going to fold the flaps back to loosen them up before placing that pattern panel down. Now make sure your image is facing down when you place the panel. Take your time to center the panel in the shaker pocket. I like to leave about 1/8 of an inch gap between the shaker edge and the cardstock panel's edge. By doing this one simple thing, it helps the shaker pocket lie flat. So I'm going to start at the bottom. I'm going to fold that flap in the center and then press along it to one side and then back to the other side. And then I'm going to bring in my bone folder and burnish this. And here's a tip. The more you burnish this, the better off you're going to be. Next, we're going to repeat that step for both sides. And remember, we're going to hold that cardstock in place the whole time we're working. I just have found that by holding it in place, it doesn't twist or shift. And then when you get ready to close it up, you have a wonky shaker pocket. So this helps to avoid that. You're also going to notice that I continue to bring that bone folder in, and I continue to burnish this repeatedly because, like I said earlier, the more you burnish it, the better off you're going to be. And I'm going to grab my lift and release tool one more time and loosen up that release paper from the adhesive. Pull that release paper off, start in the center, move to the left, back to the right, and now you're going to see me come in again with that bone folder and burnish this, and I'm going to continue to burnish it until I feel like I'm happy with it. And usually what I look for when I'm burnishing this is that the tape is going from kind of that milky look to a transparent look. The tape and the cardstock are bonding together. So now we're going to go ahead and take our lift and release tool on the back side of the flap and remove the protective film from the pocket, because all of our pockets have this protective film on them, and it's pretty easy if you just start it with your lift and release tool and then just start to peel it off. It comes right off, no problems. And you're going to notice a huge difference when you remove this protective film from the pocket. It's going to be much clearer once that protective film is off. So now that we have the protective film off, I'm going to bring in our coffee rub-on transfers. And I'm going to cut the one down here at the bottom, a perfect blend coffee and friends. And once I have it cut out away, we're going to place it on the bottom of our shaker pocket. And these are real easy. You just remove the white from the back. You want to be careful because it is sticky. So you have to make sure that you're not touching it, because if you touch it to your fingers or anything else, it will transfer the image to your fingers or anything else that it touches. So be careful with these. And then once you have it on your where you want it, go ahead and start to burnish it. You can burnish it with your fingers. It comes with a little popsicle stick. You could use that. You can use your bone folder to burnish this. And you just want to keep burnishing until the plastic releases from the image. Once it's released itself from the image, it's going to pull away nicely. Everything is still going to be adhered to your plastic shaker pocket, and you can see I'm running over it with my finger, making sure that everything is adhered and it's not coming up. So now we have our sentiment on our shaker pocket, and I'm going to use glossy black sequins in this to help that sentiment pop out of from the front of that card. And you can see as I'm adding the sequins in there, it's really starting to let that gold sentiment pop off the front of this. So just a few sequins, you don't need a lot, and you can see there how easy that is. So once we have our sentiment on there and then we've placed our sequins inside, we need to flip this back over and close it. I recommend that when you do that, maybe you lay a piece of scrap paper down so you don't end up scratching acetate or anything like that. And when you close it up, it's the same process. You flip it over. I'm going to grab my lift and release tool, run it along the edge of that release paper so that it lifts that release paper up for me, pull it back, start in the center, go to one side, back to the other, and you're going to notice I'm going to burnish this again, and I'm going to continue to burnish all along the edges, making sure that everything is bonding together. I'm going to set the shaker aside and create the sentiment for our second card, and I'm using the rub-on transfers again, and this time I'm applying it straight to the black cardstock. This is a great way to create a foiled look without having to pull out all the machines and heat everything up and then do the foiling. This has a gold foil transfer sheet in it, and it also has a bronze. It's a little bit on the lighter side, so you might consider it to be even like a rose gold, a dark rose gold color in there. So you get two full 6x8 sheets in that rub-on transfer pack, and one is the gold color and then the other is a bronze color. So here I'm just going to trim my sentiment down, and then we'll add it to our card panel with this Calls for Confetti foam adhesive strips. From here, it's just adding both finished panels to our mini slim card bases. For the full front shaker pocket, I always recommend using a heavy-duty double-sided tape like Sequin tape. I've had the best results with this type of tape and any full front shaker card. For the other card panel, glue works great. I use Barely Art glue. You can find it at Simon Says Stamp, along with a few of our products as well. Also, I have 2 samples here using the Daily Grind paper pad and Daily Grind ephemera together. That's going to bring us to the last sample featuring our Coffee Time A2 cover plate die. You're going to want to join me next week here on the channel for a look at the Coffee Time die and stencil along with a card making tutorial. Don't forget the products I used are linked down below for you. Let us know what you think about the Daily Grind 6x6 paper pad in the comments down below. We always look forward to reading your feedback. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. If you want to stay in touch, head over to our website and subscribe to our newsletter so you don't miss out on upcoming products. Until next time, please take care.